What's up, guys? Welcome to Flow, your 14-day jump rope journey. Today is day 2, orientation. Let's have some fun. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so happy to have you here and proud of you for making the time to show up yet again, conquering the most challenging part of jump rope. Today's practice will be focused on orienting ourselves with the rope. Sometimes that rope spins front to back, sometimes it spins back to front, sometimes it's on this side, sometimes it's on that side. It goes all over the place, so we're going to take some time to define some terms. The rope is going to be revolving around the sides of our body today, so we're not actually going to jump over it. So let's take this opportunity to continue strengthening that foundation. As you can see, I'm going no shoes, and I encourage you to do the same. Go ahead and take a second, kick them off, set them to the side. With that said, let's have some fun. I invite you to find some space to follow along with me and allow my voice to guide you. Let's stand up nice and tall with our feet flat on the ground, nice long spines, proud chest, shoulders down and back. This great starting position. From here, spread those toes nice and wide, root through the platforms, and float those heels up. We're balancing now. Hopefully you feel a little more stable than yesterday. You might still feel a little wobbly. That's okay. Part of the process. Slowly take it down, landing softly on the ground. And take a big breath in, float up. Exhale, take it down slow. Landing softly. Flare those nostrils, pull that air all the way down into the belly, float up, and exhale down. Great. Inhale up. Tune into your foundation here. How's the weight distribution? We keeping it even? Take it down slow. There you go. Let's spread those feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Take it down into a slight squat. From here, we're going to push those knees out, and let's bring the arms up to the side here, like we're holding a gigantic beach ball. Create some space between your shoulders and the ears, just so that the shoulders have this nice resting, active resting position. From here, spread those toes nice and wide, claw into the floor, root into the ground, and float up. And we're balancing. If you need to use some assistance, that is absolutely okay. Exhale, take it down. We're taking the time to tune into that foundation, that connection between our feet and the ground. Inhale up. Exhale down. Landing softly. Inhale up. We're working balance, building strength, building stability in the ankles. Take it down slow. Great. Inhale up. Exhale down. Great. Gently rise to standing, bring the feet together, and let's root through the platforms and find that spring. Find that springy feeling. We're waking up those lower calf muscles so that they're ready for what's coming. From here, let's shift the weight over to the right side. Load a little bit more weight into that right leg. Keep pulsing, building strength in that right calf. And shift it over to the left side. Make sure those toes are spread wide. That pressure is evenly distributed through that platform. We're building strength in that left ankle. And float it back over to the right. I challenge you to roll up onto your tiptoes if you can. And if you want to take it one step further, you can try balancing on one leg, keeping that heel off the ground. And bring it back to the center, shift it over to the left side, roll up onto that toe. There you go. If you want, you can pick that toe up. Pulsing on one leg requires balance. strength in the ankle and the foot and the core, coordination. Plant that foot down, bring it back to the center, and let's bring those feet in. If you're ready, take off. Whew. Landing softly. Remember, we only need enough space for that rope to pass beneath us. And take off. Whew. Landing softly. Tune into those landing mechanics. Here we go. Tight core and up. Whew. And up. Whew. And up. Whew. And if you're ready, keep it going. Just keep landing softly. Whew. Tune into the breath, start to develop a rhythm and a flow. Great, let's gently lower down to the ground. Check into the body, how's it feeling? We're starting to warm up, get some blood flowing. Give the calves a rest, you can shake it out if you'd like. Give it a little leg shimmy. All right, let's bring it back to that spring and start shifting that weight side to side. Warming up that boxer skip. Side to side here. Starting to accept more weight on one side of the body. We got that dominant leg on the outside and that supporting leg that just taps down with the tip toe. Tune into that foundation of that dominant leg. Make sure that weight is evenly distributed through the platform, and see if you can minimize the amount of side-to-side movement you're getting. Unless that's what you want. You know, there's a time and place for that. But here, while we're working these mechanics, let's try to keep it sharp. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's tune into the breath, tune into the rhythm we are creating with our feet, with our breath. Core is tight. You are doing great. If you're feeling ready, let's go into that run skip. Run skip. Remember, all that weight is being accepted on one side of the body right now. That ankle needs to be strong. Keeping those heels off the ground. Great work. Slowly take it back down to the ground. Great work. Go ahead and grab some water and let's pick up the rope. All right, so we got our rope. Before we begin, it's important to make sure that your rope is sized correctly. And if you are unsure if your rope is sized correctly, I will post a link to my sizing video down in the description below. Today I'm jumping with the Forte Athletics Tempo rope, which is a beaded freestyle rope. And if you're a beginner, I highly recommend using a beaded freestyle rope, because the beads will add extra weight to the rope, which increases the sensory feedback in your hand and in your mind. It's a lot easier to feel where the rope is at in relation to your body. But if you don't have a beaded freestyle rope, any rope will get the job done. But the beaded one would make it a little smoother for the learning process. Now let's talk about some single arm side swings. To do this, we're first going to take the handles, and let me get a little closer here. We're going to take the handles and drape it over the index finger, just like that. And then we're going to pinch those two ropes with the thumb, and then wrap the fingers around the handle, just like that. This is going to give us a good, solid grip and control over the ropes while we start spinning them. So once you got your grip set, elbow tucked to the body, and with our hand around waist level, the rope should just barely be clipping on the ground. If your rope is like all on the ground, your rope might be a little too long. Or if your rope is not touching the ground, your rope's either too short or your elbow is bent. So take a look at a couple things. We want the hand near the waist, rope gently resting on the ground. Next, let's visualize a clock, the numbers on a clock. If we follow the numbers in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that is a clockwise pattern. If we go in reverse, that is counterclockwise pattern. Let's try to get the rope spinning in that direction. So to do that, let's take this bottom end and bring it to the hand. So we've cut the rope in half and start spinning it in a counterclockwise direction. Because the rope is shorter, it's going to be a lot easier to get these revolutions, a lot easier to feel the weight of that. In order to get these revolutions that are passing from left to right, then they go up and over, we're using our wrist to flick away from the body. Using our wrist to go in a counterclockwise pattern. If you're a drummer, this feels a lot like an upstroke. If you're not a drummer, this feels like a drummer playing an upstroke. And go ahead and spin the other way, clockwise pattern. And if you're a drummer, this feels like playing a downstroke. If you're not a drummer, it feels like a drummer playing a downstroke. Really focus on using the wrist here to create that revolution. And once you got the hang of those two directions, let's drop the rope down and try the same thing. Let's go into counterclockwise pattern. Counterclockwise. Now we're going to start to hear the rope clipping the ground. As we do this, really focus on using the wrists here. If you're brand new, you may notice that you're putting your whole arm into it, and that's okay. It's not the most efficient thing to do. Really work to tuck that elbow in towards the body and use those wrists to flick that rope around. Take this opportunity to feel the weight of the rope away from your hand. You should feel the most weight at the apex of this arc. Way here at the bottom is where we want to feel the weight. That is what we are controlling with our wrists. Once you got the hang of this, let's pick up those left toes and dial them away from the body. And let's pivot on that right foot to turn our bodies to the left. See if we can get to this position without changing anything in our hands. Let's take it back to the front. So we're pivoting on that right foot, picking the toes up, bringing them back in. We're going to do this again. Try to keep your wrist doing exactly what it is doing. Pick up those left toes, dial them away, pivot on that back foot, and turn to the left. We are orienting our body to the left, and if all is going well, you're still getting that nice, clean revolution on the right side of your body. This is what your hand will be doing when we start jumping over the rope. It is this technique. It is highly wrist-driven. Take a look at the ground. See where the rope is clipping the ground. If it's clipping way in front of you, there's a chance that your hand might be a little too far. Okay, we want it to clip right in front of our bodies. If you want an extra balance challenge, you can pick up those left toes and try balancing here. Take a big breath in and out. Great. Drop the toes down, pivot on that right foot back to the center, pick up those left toes, bring them back in, and bring it to a hold. Excellent work. Next, let's move in a clockwise pattern. Clockwise. So we're still using the wrists, except now the wrist is driving that rope from the right side of our body to the left side. And then it goes up and over our head. Really tune into the type of wrist stroke we're using. Clockwise pattern. If you're feeling comfortable with this, let's pick up the right toes, dial them away from the body, and pivot on that left foot, keeping the right arm crossed over the body. Really do your best to keep that hand crossed over the body. If it gets a little too close to you, you might start whacking yourself. Try to get that arc to run parallel to your body while we orient ourselves to the right. So in the beginning stages of our journey, anytime your right hand crosses your body, like it is right now, it will be doing this clockwise motion. Compared to when it was not crossed, we were moving in a counterclockwise motion. And let's bring it back to the center. Great work. Bring it to a hold and relax. Let's repeat that on the left hand. Taking those handles, draping them over the fingers, pinching those ropes. So let's bring the bottom half up here to the hand. Okay, pinch it. We're cutting the rope in half. And let's move in a clockwise pattern. It's the same direction we were just going, but now in the other hand. And because the rope is shortened, it should feel very easy to get these revolutions. Take a look at your wrist. We're flicking the knuckles away to get this revolution to happen. If you're a drummer, this feels like an upstroke. And switch directions. Let's go in that counterclockwise pattern. Again, the wrist technique changes to get the orbit to revolve the other direction. Careful not to hit yourself in the face. Great. Go ahead and relax. Drop that half down. And let's move in that clockwise pattern. Clockwise. Trying to keep the elbow tucked to the body, hand at waist level. Check it where the rope is clicking. Check where the rope is clipping the ground. It's going to take a little more effort to get that weight to revolve around this axis of rotation. Really use those wrists here to drive the motion. If you're using a lot of arm here, try to lighten up. Try to focus on using those wrists to get the motion. And let's pick up the right toes, dial them away from the body, pivot on the back foot, and orient ourselves to the right. We're doing single arm side swings on the left side of our body. And the rope is moving in a clockwise direction. Take note of the wrist technique here. If you notice that the arc is coming in a diagonal in front of you, your hand might have drifted a little forward. Okay, we just take note of the direction that your knuckles are throwing the weight towards. We want to get it back, not out. We want to go back. Try to keep that hand waist level. Don't pick up the elbow. Doing great. Listen to the sound here. That sound is going to become so meaningful to us on our journey. And bring it back to the center. Pivot on that left foot. Pick up those right toes. Dial them back towards the middle. And relax. Great. Let's spin that rope in the counterclockwise direction. Counterclockwise. Take note of the wrist technique here. It feels a little different. Drummers, downstrokes. If you're not a drummer, you may become one after this. Great. From here, let's pick up the left toes, dial them away, and pivot on that right foot to orient ourselves to the left. Keeping that left hand crossed over the body. In the beginning stages of our journey, anytime that left hand is crossed over the body, it's going to be performing revolutions like this. In the counterclockwise direction, anytime. And let's bring it back to the center. Pivot on that right foot. Pick up those left toes. Bring them back. And slow it down. Make it dramatic. All right. Excellent job. So that was an introduction to single arm side swings. Now let's try doing them on the side of our body without this whole pivot thing. So let's hold the rope in our right hand or your dominant hand and try spinning the rope in a counterclockwise pattern. Drummers, this is upstrokes. So we see the rope up ahead and it comes in front of us and passes back. We want to do our best to get that rope in line with our body, parallel to our body, so not cutting at a diagonal like this, straight in line with our body. Take a look at where the rope is clipping the ground. We want a nice short clip right in front. We don't want it dragging in front, otherwise it might bounce up into your shins, and that's not fun. Great, let's take that left hand and tuck it behind us. We're focused on the right now. From here, let's see if we can cross it over to our left side. So when the rope is overhead, we're going to take the hand that direction and keep the revolution going. And you may notice that your wrist technique has changed. It kind of just happens when we cross the body. And bring it back, open. Again, the wrist technique has changed. And cross it, boom. So we really want to use those wrists to keep this orbit in motion so it maintains that momentum that we build. So we don't lose our rhythm, we don't lose our flow. Go ahead and experiment with opening and crossing on your own. You can do 2 on both sides, 3 on both sides, 1. Notice that when the hand is open, your palm is facing forward. But when it crosses your body, palm is facing backwards. Excellent. Go ahead and relax. Bring it to a hold. You can catch it in your toe if you can. Next, let's pass the rope over to the left hand. Same thing, drape the handles over the finger, pinch the rope, and let's start spinning it. We're moving in a clockwise pattern in the left hand. The rope is passing over our heads and it's coming from the front side to the back side. Really trying our best to keep that rope parallel to our facing and using those wrists here. Point those elbows back. We don't want the arms open like this. Point the elbows back. And take that right hand, tuck it behind the back. Let's cross that hand over. And the wrist technique has changed. We're also moving in a counterclockwise pattern. Try to get a consistent clip on the ground, no matter what side you're on, open or cross. We want that rope to clip the ground the same distance in front of our body. Go ahead and open and cross. I encourage you to explore this on your own, opening and crossing, maintaining the same rhythm, the same speed. You're doing great. We're really focused on the sound of the rope clipping the ground. We hear the rope whirling around our ears. Great, bring it to a hold. Awesome job. Next, we're going to practice passing the rope off from one hand to the other hand. And I'll demonstrate what that looks like. I have the rope here in my right hand. I do some swings here on the open side. And when I cross my body, it's going to go pass into my left hand like this. Just like that. And it is the responsibility of my catching hand to adapt to the rope. And the handle, it's going to have to maneuver a little bit to get back into position. And then I pass and pass. Go ahead and explore this pattern on your own. Passing when you feel ready. Try to pass without changing the rhythm or the speed of the orbit. And the more frequently you pass, the more challenging it gets. If you can do one like this, that is the most challenging version. You do not need to be able to do that today. That's okay. Great work. Bring it to a hold. Toe catch. This is called a toe catch. When you catch the revolution under the toe. Kind of more challenging to do without shoes on, but we'll practice it. All right, you're doing a great job. Let's get a quick swig of water and we'll introduce an exercise that trains everything we've worked on. So this exercise is called 8-4-2-1. 8-4-2-1. We're going to do 8 swings on the right side, followed by 8 swings crossing over to the left side for a total of 16 beats. And then we're going to do 4 on the right, cross over for 4, and then bring it back over for 4, and cross for 4 for another total of 16 beats. And then we're going to do 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 for a total of 16 beats. And then we'll do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then hand off to the left hand after that as we cross the body. So that transition looks like this: 13, 14, 15, 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And as we do this, try not to feel pressured to nail this exactly how I'm doing it. We are literally just working single arm side swings on the open side and the cross side and handing it off. You could create your own numbers if you'd like. Listen to the rope clipping the ground. That will serve as our beat. Let's go in 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, cross, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, open, 1, 2, 3, cross, 2, 3, open, 1, 2, 3, cross, 1, 2, 3, open, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, hand off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, cross, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, open, 2, 3, 4, cross, 2, 3, 4, open, 2, 3, 4, cross, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, 8, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 with the toe catch. Great work. Our next challenge is going to be a 360 inside of this revolution, just like that. Let's talk about how to do that. It looks cool, looks slick. It's actually pretty simple. So we start with single arm side swings on the open side. I'll demonstrate here. Then we cross the body, and from here all we do is just face the rope. We've been here before. This is familiar. From here we keep spinning, so now we're facing backwards, and this is the trickiest part here. Once that rope passes our body, we bring it over to the other side, and we face the rope. Again, we've been here before. Take it to the front, and we're back. If I do it as one smooth motion, looks like this. And crossing, facing, I'm backwards, crossing, facing, I'm open. Let's go ahead and try this step by step. Join me, get that rope swinging on the right side or your dominant side. And now, let's cross. Face the rope. Feel familiar? We've been here. Face the backside. Keep turning. Keep that rope spinning in the same direction. Here we go. We're going to cross it over to the other side of the body. That's the trickiest part. You may take a couple reps to get it. Face the rope. Face the front. And we're back. Let's do it again. Cross the body. Face the rope. Keep spinning. Cross the body. And we're back. Great, relax. I'll demonstrate this from the other direction so you can see that tricky part. We cross the body, we're spinning, so now the rope's going backwards. Once I see it clip the ground in front of me, take my hand to the other side. Wrist technique changes to keep the rope in motion. And I'm back. Awesome. Let's try that in the left hand, or if you'd like, you can stay on the right hand. So we cross the body, face the rope. We've been here. Face the backside. Cross the body. Face the rope back to the front. We can even put that in reverse. Face the rope. Now the hands crossed. Swing it back. And we end in a crossed position. And here we are. Possibilities are endless. Go ahead and bring it to a hold. Great work. 360 spins. So now, what do we use all this for? This is the first thing I do every time I jump rope. I never go straight into this. Never. Because that involves jumping over the rope every single time. That takes a lot of coordination and timing. And if I'm coming in cold, I don't have that ready, and that's okay. So I like to start here on the side, and I just bounce with it. I bounce, I cross, I throw in some spins, but I'm not jumping over the rope. I'm building a rhythm, establishing that flow. So go ahead and join me here. Let's spin the rope around and bounce. You can decide if you want to do a two-legged bounce, a boxer skip. Don't worry too much about the timing of when your feet are landing with the rope. We're not jumping over the rope. Just get things moving. But for me, I like to jump as I flick my wrist back. That timing happens at the same time. When I feel my hand take the weight of that rope, I hop. Experiment with crossing, handoffs. You don't have to stay in one spot. You can move around. Connect with the breath. Connect with the sound, that whirling around your ears, the clip of the rope on the ground. If you feel up for it, go for that 360. There you go. There's no set number of revolutions you need to do it in. You could take as long as you want. It could be super slow if you want, or it could be quick. Tune into that foundation. And let's start bringing it to a hold. Slow it down. Make it dramatic. Make it dramatic. ga, ga, ta, ta. Single arm side swings. You're doing them. Great work. So this is a new technique. And if you have never done this before, it is totally normal to feel a little uncomfortable as you're doing it. Your body doesn't know how to do this yet. It is learning how to do it. So it might feel a little clumsy at first. Just know that is okay. I assure you, you keep showing up and it will have that smooth, effortless flow in no time. So like I said, this is the way to warm up. This is how to establish your rhythm before we start jumping over the rope. It's a great way to warm up the body, just start tuning into the sounds, tune into the weight of the rope, what we feel, start to build some rhythm within our bodies. And they're so fun, right? Like, those are fun and those are cool. Anyways, great work today. I am so proud of you for showing up and pushing yourself to learn something new. Please let me know how you did down in the comments below, and I encourage you to share some love with our community of people who are all learning this with us. Thank you again for doing this with me. It is such an honor and a privilege to guide you on this journey. I will see you tomorrow for day 3. Take care.